Hey everybody, Richard Trummers here again at Artificial Lawyer TV, going to do another product walkthrough today. This time we're looking at Jus Mundi and their Jus AI 2. Monica, who's with us, can tell me that I pronounced that incorrectly. But good to have you on the show, Monica.
Thank you, Richard. Glad to be here.
I will disappear in time-honored fashion and come back at the end to ask a couple of quick questions. But otherwise, Monica, please take it away.
Thanks, Richard. So I'm very excited to be here and share with you our latest developments with Jus AI 2, an arbitration-specific agent. Let's start with who we are. So Jus Mundi is your all-in-one legal intelligence for arbitration. So Jus Mundi has been solving the issue of arbitration intelligence. And what do we mean by that? It's making data-backed decisions for smarter international disputes. We started with legal research and created a very comprehensive database, the most comprehensive for arbitration. And we quickly went to professional selection. So this allows, again, data-backed decision-making when you're selecting the right people to work with you in an arbitration or selecting arbitrators. And now we've launched the new era of research and arbitration agents, which is moving on to an AI agentic flow for arbitration with capabilities like legal research, analysis, drafting, and translation. And just to give you an overview of who we are, with this huge database that we have compiled, we've gotten 700 clients across 90 countries, which amounts to 90% of Magic Circle firms and 50% of AM Law. So let's go back to Jus AI 2. What is the problem that we're solving? Well, legal professionals, we found is spend 32% of work hours on research. And although generative AI solutions in the market automate lawyers' workflow, the legal research problem hasn't really been solved. And why is it? Well, solutions haven't really met lawyers' expectations. Specifically in arbitration, that generic knowledge misses arbitration nuances and complexities. There's black box reasoning. You don't really know what are the true sources that are creating this answer. You don't really know or can verify that reasoning. And finally, the AI or a generative AI gives you probabilistic outputs, which is based normally on semantic relevance. But arbitration professionals want precision and control. So there are 3 problems that haven't been tackled. 1, certainty. 2, transparency. And 3, control. And that's what we're solving with Jus AI 2. So what are the key updates? First, we have a domain-specific agent. We have fine-tuned our AI agents that allow the planning and the orchestration of an answer with our arbitration data. And just as a recap, that huge arbitration data that I was talking about is created through more than 100 institutional partnerships worldwide, amounting to, again, the most comprehensive database for arbitration and international law. It doesn't matter the language, the jurisdiction, you can get the data you need in Jus Mundi. And so let's go back to Jus AI. We also improved the transparency. Every reasoning step is shown, every answer is cited, and every citation is reputable and trustworthy. And finally, we have done something quite innovative in the sense that you now can have the flexibility of the AI with the control of a search engine. So we're mixing the 2 experiences. And of course, we have that enterprise-grade security and compliance with a zero retention policy and many certifications to give you the assurance and the trust that you need to use the tool. So let's go for the exciting part, which is the demo of Jus AI. So this is the new Jus AI interface and the homepage for Jus Mundi. As you can see, you have the chat interface, and to access our traditional search engine, you just need to toggle in. And for the chat, it works as a normal chat. So let's type in a prompt. I've prepared a few ones for this presentation. And in this prompt, I am saying that I'm counsel for claimant in an arbitration proceeding under the 2021 ICC rules. And I'm drafting a submission on cost. And I want to claim not only the cost for the arbitration, but also the costs, counsel cost incurred prior the launch of the arbitration. And here I can just go ahead and launch a prompt as it is. Or if I actually want to control more this response, I can go ahead and filter. And I can apply the filters depending on my needs. So you can filter by type of document. We have treaties, rules, cases, publications, or you can go deeper. Let's say in this case, I actually just want cases. I don't care about doctrinal analysis. I really care about cases. And I want to apply different filters. What are the filters that I want to apply? So I want to know only about cases where the rules of arbitration or procedure were ICC. So I can type here ICC, and they were the 2021 arbitration rules. I also don't want any other document but decisions. So I can go ahead and click on type of document and decisions. I don't care about opinions or other documents like party submissions. I only care about decisions. And here I can see that my filters are applied. So we're seeing two things here. Again, I have the control to apply the filters and control the results, but I also have the transparency of, okay, how many documents am I seeing with these filters? I'm getting this 456 cases instead of the 100,000 documents that I previously had in the results. And I can actually browse through that list of documents on the left, but I can also ask my question on the right. So let's go ahead and send the prompt. I'm satisfied with this filtering and I want to go ahead and prompt this. So what am I seeing here? First, we applied the think mode. You have think and light. And think mode, what it does basically is that it mimics how you would do research. It thinks first about what is it that you want to achieve. So it's evaluating your query. It then creates a plan, and it creates a plan considering not only your query, but also the context of our database. So this is done by a planning agent that has been fine-tuned with our data. Then, as you can see the reasoning steps that it's taking forward and that it's moving forward to answer the query. First, it's telling me what it understands from my query, and it looks all right. And it's telling me also what it's going to do. I will search for ICC decisions that specifically address the recoverability of pre-arbitration legal cost, extracting the tribunal's reasoning and identifying any instances where such costs were awarded. And I can always review the reasoning of Jus AI. This is quite different to what we used to do with V1. V1 used to be a one-shot type of AI, but this is more reflective. It thinks how you would normally do legal research. And how you would normally do legal research is on a multi-step process. You go back, course correct, reflect. And it's also very important to manage the different tools and data sources that are available to get the right information. In this case, we have the orchestrator that is also managing that specific query or that specific task of what data sources do I have, what information is being queried, and to provide the answer. So for the think mode, something that is also quite important and it's good to highlight is that it's different from the light because it provides as many research steps as the orchestrator thinks are relevant to answer the query. So we're seeing now the answer. And two things to highlight. First, you can always go back and evaluate the reasoning. Let me close this. And you will always see this type of response that is divided in sections to allow you to gaze through or move through the answer quite quickly. And you can always see the responses and evaluate the answers. So for example, here, I'm seeing that this case was specifically cited, and I can go to that specific case and read the context of where was this paragraph cited. So I can verify the context of the citation. So that's one example. Let's go back. And you can also do not only open legal research queries, you can also compare rules of arbitrations, for example, by selecting Jus Mundi documents. Let's say that I want to compare LCIA rules of arbitration from 2014, and I want to compare them with the India arbitration rules, and I send my prompt. So what is Jus AI doing here? Again, it's leveraging the documents that from the Jus Mundi database that I had just uploaded, and it's comparing them. And again, it's going through this process of planning and taking a closer look at the documents. So I will go ahead, and you can, as always, review the reasoning and steps that are being taken by the AI. Let's see here. So, and here's a response that you would normally get. Here you can see, again, the reasoning. And you can see the introduction, the comparative table from the 2 arbitration rules that I have uploaded. And because this is leveraging not only the text, but also the metadata that we have from the specific documents and all the enriched data, it's quite useful for comparison and getting a deeper analysis of these documents in the Jus Mundi database. And as always, you can click here and take a look at the specific content that you're citing to verify the sources. And now you might be thinking, okay, this is great, but what about uploading my own documents? How many documents can I upload? And can I upload documents to a query? How does that work? Well, yes, you can. You can upload documents either from your device, and you can upload also documents from your vault. You can upload up to 50 documents per conversation. And this number is quickly going to increase. And for this, I have prepared already a few prompts, so you don't have to wait for this to load here. So here, in this case, I have uploaded 14 documents related to a specific case. And I'm asking, I represent the claimant in this dispute based only on the case record. What should be my key arguments be, and how do they interact with the tribunal's tribunal's directions? And here I'm getting the answer. Again, as always, I can review the reasoning. And something that, again, we really want to achieve is allowing control. So in this case, I turn the Jus Mundi toggle off. So Jus AI would only look at the documents that I uploaded, only these ones. But as a follow-up, I can also turn on the Jus Mundi data, and I can, let's say, provide a detailed mapping of the tribunal reasoning faced with similar jurisdictional objections and document production issues. And again, I want to leverage those filters that we have in Jus Mundi and that fine-grained data. So I can go ahead and apply the first filter, which is cases. And within cases, I only care about the type of case, commercial arbitration. I don't care about anything else. So I go here, commercial arbitration cases. And again, I only care about decisions. So I will filter out decisions. I see that my filters are applied. I can again review which documents are getting evaluated to generate an answer. And I send my prompt. While we wait for this prompt, we can walk through the other responses that we see on top. So here we got 14 documents that were analyzed. We saw the jurisdictional arguments, the specific jurisdictional arguments, the merits arguments, treaty breaches, causation and force majeure, damages and quantum, and the rebuttals. So here, again, you can always verify the citations on the panel next to it, and you can copy the reference as well. Something very important to highlight when it comes to your documents is that we have a zero retention policy with Jus. So anything that is uploaded, it remains confidential, and everything, including your prompts, are encrypted both at rest and in transit. And you can be 100% in control of the data. Anything that you delete will be deleted forever. And you can control whether you want to upload documents and save them in your vault, or whether you want them to only be used in that conversation and never again. So here we're seeing the mapping that is getting done. And as I mentioned before, this is the research agent that is mapping out a plan, is asking for, or what is it doing? It's first analyzing what is the respondent's counter memorial. It's also analyzing the claimant's memorial, the procedural order, and the procedural order 1 and 3. And it's also doing a search. Here we can see that it's going to conduct a research of published decisions and that face the same jurisdictional objections to compare the case with existing documents in the Jus Mundi database. And here we have the response. Again, you can always check and verify the citations. These are the rules that are being cited, and we have a synthesis table at the bottom. This is Jus AI. And we're also, because feedback is so important, you can always provide feedback on why you're satisfied or not with the response. And one final thing that I would like to show, and it's more a teaser, is one of the key value propositions for Jus Mundi as well is our database for professional search, as I mentioned at the beginning. And with this version of Jus AI, you can already start to see certain elements of professional search, or what we call professional search. You can, for example, create a filter. One of our filters is arbitrator, is actually the parties. It can be the arbitrator, the lawyers, the experts, or the firms involved in a case. For the arbitrator, I can go here and type, for example, Hanotieu. And here it's applying a filter, and what it's doing, similar to the examples before, it's applying a filter to all the cases where this specific person has been involved as an arbitrator in a specific case. And you can ask general questions about these cases. This will answer based on those filtered documents. So here, for example, we're asking, can you analyze the approaches in calculating damages and why the tribunal went one way or another? Where you can ask different types of questions in terms of to get a response on those specific cases that meet the criteria of a person being appointed under a specific role in that specific case. And I have this already prepared as well. Well, a different question, but what were the interpretative approaches used for treaty clauses, textual versus theological versus semantic? And here we have the reasoning. And the interpretative approaches were in cases with this person as arbitrator. And here you have the different approaches and the framework with specific cases, with the specific approaches. And this is the first allowance that we're giving with professional search on Jus AI. But we're hoping to expand this much more in the upcoming months. It's a very exciting project that we're very proud of. And something that I want to highlight as well is that for us, quality is really our main objective. We are so obsessed with quality that we have first written a white paper with Stanford's University Codex, which published our quality assurances process. We have also engaged with Jus AI to do a benchmarking between our previous version, V1 versus V2. With this report, we're very proud to see the improvements on V2, and this is just the beginning. We are expanding our not only for legal research, but we also allow document analysis, legal analysis with time savings of 50% for legal research as well as legal analysis. And we also allow legal drafting and legal translation. Our clients' feedback has been great, and we're looking forward to continuing developing Jus AI V2, improving in quality, and continuing driving innovation for legal research and arbitration. Thank you.
Thanks, Monica. Interesting, and so much going on. And I strongly recommend, if you've got this far in the video, probably watching it again and or contacting the Jus Mundi team to learn a bit more. Just very briefly, just a couple of very quick practical questions, Monica. If somebody hasn't got this yet and they want to have this, how do they go about getting this?
Great question. So just go to jusmundi.com and request a demo in the platform, and we'd be happy to walk you through the solutions that we have through Jus AI V2, our platform, and our different types of content that we have at Jus Mundi.
Fantastic. And just very, very briefly, you don't have to give specific numbers, but generally, how is this priced? What's the pricing mechanism for this?
So the pricing mechanism varies depending on the specific region, and it's based on seats at a specific firm. So it's seat-based and region-based. Feel free to contact us, and we're more than happy to share the details.
Fantastic. Thank you, Monica. Really appreciate it. And no doubt we'll be hearing a lot more about the company soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.